Whoa. Word to Daps. The Zerbi leaving Brighton, which I don't know if that comes as a shock to anyone's ears or even Monster's ears. We knew he was going to leave, but I think it's a bit brazy that it's been said just before the final game of the season tomorrow. I don't know about you, Monster, but I've got 4 potential clubs that he could be joining. And they've all got good links as well, yeah. And I've got theories upon theories. And I suppose we can debunk all of them as well in a way where we can either rubbish them off, give it a rating out of 10, and see what players that he could actually work with under his, under his system, right? So, but what are you saying though, man? Look, this is a weird. This is how you know summer is here. Yeah, we've got me and you here on a pop-up stream, right? We just done a stream about a few hours ago, and then we're already doing this on a Saturday at what? 20 to 6. People need to get used to this sort of stuff. The middle of the day.
2022 vibes, bro. Summer 2022, isn't it?
23 of 23. Yeah,
23 vibes, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Look, anyone that's in here, make sure you smash the like button. I'm not too sure how long we're going to be going for, but entertainment's entertainment. News is news. This is what we do. But yeah, man, the Zerbi is left and it's being confirmed by Fabrizio, and he didn't actually even say it himself first. It was actually a club statement. So that tells me that, because it's weird, yeah. Let me once. Did he not just come out of a statement, right? About not even yesterday, maybe yesterday or even this morning. Yeah, and he was talking about like
no club. There's no attachment, there's nothing happening, and then next thing you know, yeah, man's gonna be leaving. Yeah, you lot here, take a trip. You know what I'm saying? Happy times. Hope you lot have been well. You know what I'm saying? Big up Brighton and all them man dead up, and man's got to leave now. Like.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like he was talking about if my passion is, he said something about his passion, about the players, etc., etc. If it's not there, he will leave. It's not even 24 hours. Yeah, someone must have tapped this guy up. Or he always knew this and has been playing the media the way he needed to play it, right? So he said this in a statement as well, like or press conference of some sort. He says, "I'm very sad to be leaving Brighton, but I'm very proud of what my players and staff have achieved with the support of everyone at the club and our amazing fans of the past 2 historical seasons. We have agreed to end my time at Brighton so that the club and I can continue to work in a way that suits each of us best, following our own ideas and visions as well as our work and human values. I've really enjoyed an intense and challenging 2 years working in the Premier League, not least competing in 4 major competitions this season. Leaving now provides me with a time to take a break before deciding on my future plans." So keywords are taken from that, yeah? Break, 2 years in the Premier League, right? And then now I'm trying to put that into pieces. When he says 2 years in the Premier League, does that mean he's coming out of the Premier League? Or is he just not trying to give off too much? And then I got more questions to ask you as well. What do you think of that? Do you think of it in the top of your head? What's the most easy clubs to pinpoint them towards?
Obviously, the 2 main clubs you're probably looking at is Man United. Man United and Bayern Munich. I think they're the 2 clubs that scream, "I need a new manager and fast." Before we going into preseason and whatnot, maybe preferably after the Euros, but he seems a bit innocuous in what he wants to do. Does he know what he wants to do, or does his representatives know what he wants to do? I think he's tired of the whole losing his players, developing players. He has this style of play that's very, playing through the lines, unique style of play. I think he's ready for the step up. I think he wants to step up. I think in his head, it's like, cool, do I stay in the Premier League and go to United? Or do I go to Bayern Munich, where am I going to get a chance to go and manage Munich? You know what I'm saying?
That's his step up.
Munich could still end, because if he goes to United and maybe stays there for 2-3 years, Alonso might have taken the Munich job by then. Bayern Munich might not be available at this point in time. It's very rare that the Bayern Munich job is just there. It's just there, and you don't have to be a world-class manager to go and take the Bayern Munich job. It's actually possible to sell right now. And but you can look at United in the same way and go, United are in a bad position. They've got new hierarchy. Is this a time to maybe be a part of this new United rebuild? Which one does he want to go for?
See, I've got 4 or 5 clubs, right? And I'm going to say each one as well. And then you let me know which one we can debunk it. Right. I'm going to start it from all right, 5th choice, which I'm going to say is the least likely, in my opinion. Yeah. So listen carefully. Yeah. AC Milan first on there. They just got the guy's Italian, might want to return over there, see what he can do. They've got quite a few young ballers, Reinders. They've still got Tomori. They've got quite a good batch of players, in my opinion, and they still need to do little bits and bobs. He might want to see himself at a bigger club. So AC Milan might be at the first on the agenda. The only issue is with AC Milan is that, according to Fabrizio yesterday, is that they made contact with the Lille manager, Paolo Fonseca, or I think that's how you say Francesca, for the job. And there was also rumors around Conte, Sarri, even Mark Van Bommel, right? So that's one option. And I'm going to give that a 5, maybe a 4. I think that's the least likely. That's the one link there. The 4th option, and actually the 6th option I was going to say was Juve, but I'm going to rubbish that off because of Thiago Motta. They clearly want Thiago Motta as their guy going forward. The 4th option now is, I would say, I'm going to say Barcelona. Xavi leaving all of a sudden. Remember, he's like something going to...
Didn't he change his mind?
He changed his mind again. Think of it logically.
Xavi changed his mind again?
Yeah. So
I thought he did I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
That's what I thought. And then I'm thinking about it again, and I'm thinking the only links I can put Barcelona, which I'll put there, is if Xavi's leaving, the type of football they play and appreciate can make sense if they go for someone like the Zerbi, right? They've already had, you see what he done with Ansu Fati, made him into a decent player. You can tell that he upgrades players. We could talk about the Zerbi more in depth. What's his strengths and what's his pros and cons, basically. I would say Barcelona's there for the link, 100%. That's another top club that he can go and grab. What do you think about that one?
Just before I answer your question, Xavi didn't change his mind. The Barcelona president changed his mind.
Oh, changed his mind. Something like that. The president.
Xavi now wants to stay, but the president's gone.
I see. There's a link right there. Why has he changed his mind? Which was yesterday, 24 hours ago, and then all of a sudden, the Zerbi's now quitting. You would not say no. You're not gonna say no to Barcelona, no matter what budget.
Zerbi is very much, but if we're talking stylistically, who does he fit? Milan, United, Bayern Munich, Barca. Stylistically, it's Barcelona. No, it has to be Barcelona. No? Stylistically,
yeah, I would say stylistically, Barcelona the easiest one to say, because when you think about expansive football, attacking, tiki taka, La Masia, and the biggest part is working on a budget. Think about it.
Yeah, financially it makes sense. Financially it makes sense. I think Barcelona kind of accepting they're in this sort of period where they're not going to be at their scintillating best. So to start a new project, why not? Remember, their last La Liga was only a year. It was only last season, just before Madrid have just won it. So it's not like they've gone years without a La Liga.
Exactly. So that's why I would say that. Yeah. So I don't know. So on that notice, I would say Barcelona is an option. The third option I'm going to say now I'm going to say Chelsea Football Club.
Look at the latest comment as well, by the way. I didn't know we had a release clause.
Brian don't announce he's leaving if someone doesn't pay his release clause since he's under contract. Since they announced he's leaving, someone's already gave Brighton the 10 million. That's a great comment.
Or has he paid out?
I don't know, man. Do you think that guy's got 10 million?
I
don't think you're going to be getting
Bro, you might have a banging accountant. We don't know.
Yeah, so if my man, I don't even know even what to call you, the 7-1 Inksy. Can someone tell me what's that meant to? What's the numbers to letters looking like? Sinsky. Anyways, good comment by the way. So the Zerbi, Barcelona could definitely be it. 10 million. Is that something Barcelona would want to pay out at this moment in time? No, probably not.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Now, Barcelona going to front up 10 million for a manager. Doesn't look like it to me.
Now let's go to our third option, in my opinion, Chelsea. Now we just spoke about it right a few hours ago. Chelsea, Pochettino, they've turned it around. I don't think they'll be looking at new managers, but it makes sense because I believe one of the is it correct me if I'm wrong? One of the Chelsea lot, I can't remember his name, Egbali or whatever, was talking about reviewing Pochettino's season as a whole, not just recently, as a whole, right? And then they'll make a decision come to end of the season to see what happens. But it looks at Pochettino's face, comments in the post conference and stuff like that. When you catch glimpses, he seems rather happy. He's made comments towards the owners. I would put that down to third choice because of the Brighton links of what they've already got in there, and that might be a project they're looking at towards because of all the young players that they've got. Who's going to get the best out of it?
And would Chelsea go for another Brighton manager?
And I don't think that would resonate great with the fans.
I mean, they've got a lot of staff over there. I mean, because they've got staff over there at Chelsea from Brighton.
Exactly. Well. And then Reaper saying, Breeze coming out saying Poch is still not safe. So Poch doesn't even know if he's going to stay in a job, let alone if that could be a Zerbi. Could that be the link? 10 million, would they pay that? Probably wouldn't it once.
I think, by the way, I didn't say the Zerbi would pay his own release clause. The rest of his contract. That
could make sense.
The club, I'm not saying he would have to pay that. The club would have to pay out the rest. But then again, that's if he just terminates his contract. So I don't know. It's financially, I'm not really sure how it would work. But
yeah,
how many years did he have left on his contract, Zerbi?
He would have had. I can check it now. One sec. He had manager profile. He had it was in they've updated it now, which is a shame because he's been in charge since September 2022 and in charge until 2024 June the 30th. But I don't know what is
2026.
So he had a 4-year deal.
Yeah, 4 years.
So there you go. That's not all right. So if we're gonna put Chelsea number 3, so we've had AC Milan as one of the options, number 5, Barcelona number 4. With the president changing his mind and stylistically, number 3 Chelsea because of the obvious links between Brighton. Would they go there again? That's a good comment by Monts, to be fair. Would they go for another Brighton guy? Maybe, maybe not. Win Stanley has been pushing for the Zerbi as well. That's true. That's definitely true in their background. So there's another part. Number 2, I'm actually going to put Man United there. I'm not putting that as number 1. Number 2, Man United. And why I'm going to link it with Man United. Man United need a new manager. They need a new project. They need a new direction. Now, when you think of Ashworth, when you think of what's his name as well, Omar Barada, who was actually a big fan of the Zerbi, has got a good relationship with him, along with Ashworth, along with Wilcox as well. The Zerbi might be the guy. And there was also recent things from Muppeteers. Muppeteers is it's weird. I don't know how they got the links and everything, but they do. Right? With the Zerbi, is that they want a young manager. That was one of the reports that came out of that. If they're gonna change managers, they're gonna opt for a younger manager. The Zerbi, I think he's in his 40s, early 40s. That would make sense. The Zerbi to Man United, would Man United fans be happy with it? Would you be happy with it once?
If I was a United fan or just in general as a rival fan?
Both. Put both perspectives on it.
No, if I'm a rival fan, it'll be interesting to see if the players you have are good enough to, help him translate the style from training onto the pitch. I think United haven't had a good structural style in a long time now, so I feel like this is an appointment that is actually really needed for United. I think I wouldn't say he's perfect for the job, but he's a very good pillar to kind of build and start from. So for me, I feel like if I was a United fan, I'd absolutely be looking at this and licking my lips and thinking, listen, this opportunity here, put the contract in front of them, ask him how many zeros he wants, not on a Rio Ferdinand thing with Oli Gunnar Solskjaer. You know what I'm saying? Offer something lucrative and just test the waters. Even if his first choice is Bayern, test the waters. That's what I'm screaming from a United fan. As a rival fan, I think as someone who's just signed another manager myself, I'd be looking at it thinking, well, it's not a bad appointment, is it? It's not a bad appointment. He looks like one of the more in-demand. He's one of the more in-demand managers in the Premier League, and I feel like a lot of the top teams could have done with a manager like him, bar Arsenal and City, because Liverpool have lost Jurgen Klopp. Chelsea aren't really sure with Poch. Tottenham have just appointed
And
obviously Ange Postecoglou, and his style has obviously helped them. Obviously, they haven't done much Spurs. What they've done is progressed, you know. So and Unai, obviously Villa got Unai. So there's a few clubs that could have done with him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that it would make sense. You want to look at a project manager, not one us to hear. And like, what was the issue with what Ty was saying before? Ty was saying Tuchel's a more here and now manager. I disagree. I think he can work and build up stuff myself, work on the foundation. But if there's anyone that's going to work on a budget with young players, progress them, it would probably be De Zerbi. I wouldn't be mad at that appointment, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. About like even this season and the cons of them, the pros of it. The first choice is quite obvious, isn't it? It's Bayern Munich. You know, Tuchel just turned them down. They couldn't reach an agreement trying to keep him, and then all of a sudden the Zerbis have come out. They move quick, but the thing is, even though I've seen like, why would you want to go to Bayern Munich? You know, they're a shit show right now. They're boards and in scatters, etc., etc. You can't compare Brighton and Bayern Munich. There's a different stature, especially when you think about your own career, your own ego, and what you can actually achieve in trophies and stuff like that. I think Bayern Munich's the more nailed on one. Even though CF Bayern came out that too, Bayern Munich are looking at them, which I don't rate him as a journalist personally. I think he talks a lot of shit. Because last time I saw it, they were looking at Ten Hag. Right. Bayern Munich are going to be needing some young players at some point. They got Eric Dyer, they got Harry Kane, they got the Thomas Mullers. You know, Kimmich is getting on, Goretzka's getting on. You know, even you can look at around the squad. They're going to need a refresh, right? And if you look at what Xabi Alonso's done this year, who's going to match that in terms of style and football, especially with the way football's going? It might actually be De Zerbi. Like, think of it. They'll move quick. Who's the quickest one? Who's got 10 million right now to spend on someone's release clause? Be like, yeah, come in. We need you. We're done. They've exhausted their options, in my opinion. So what do you think about that?
I'm looking at, I mean, it's such an open playing field right now, bro. It's an open playing field.
Disgusting.
I think Man United have 2 million to dash away. Of course they do.
Well, they just got. Well, when you think of it, Varane, who's on like 300k, that's contract.
Yeah, you could probably get like half of that off the wage bill alone from what you're losing off the wage bill. Off the wage bill alone, you could probably make.
And it's a release clause. If it's a release clause on your manager, it's a quick. It's there.
Quick transaction, bro. Look at McAllister. Like quick, no dilly dallying. Like release clause makes things a lot easier. Yeah, a lot easier. Negotiations, everything's a lot faster. I think that Bayern Munich do work very quickly as well, though. And they do work more efficiently than Man United as at this moment in time. But I feel like with Bayern, it's not like all sunshines and mountains. They've had their worst season on paper in the last decade. It ain't sunshines and mountains over there. It's not.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
The name's shiny in that. But then you got to look at Leverkusen and go, are Leverkusen really going to retain? And it's like, and if De Zerbi goes over to Bayern Munich now, is he going over there thinking, cool, Tuchel's fucked up? Is this a chance for me to win the Bundesliga and it actually means something? Because now that Bayern Munich haven't won the Bundesliga this year, it actually means something to go and win it next year. You know, it's not just what are you going to do in the champs? And that's where your kind of job lies. Can you bring the Champions League back to Bayern Munich? You know what I'm saying?
Remember, you got to remember as well, Bayern Munich, people need to understand as well, yeah? Bayern Munich never used to be the dominating force back in the day. No, you got to think of like Hamburg, Dortmund in spells, you could say, and stuff like that, and whatnot. Like Werder Bremen's, these sort of teams, even Stuttgart in the later 2000s, they were a serious team. And you might be seeing a little bit of a makeshift there's a makeshift power in certain leagues that happens, right? That might be happening with Bayern. Like, you never know. Look, right now, Leipzig getting better. I don't know if they're going to ever hit them grounds. I think Dortmund aspire to be like a Bayern and a functioning machine like that. But you could say in the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, 4 years. I'll say 4 years. Like, it's not, as you said, it's not been all like rainbows and mountains over at Bayern Munich. And there might be a power shift happening in the Bundesliga for you know. They just about got away with it last year to Dortmund when Dortmund bottled it, right? And then this year's Leverkusen. If Leverkusen end up winning it again back to back, or another team gets a little bit better, like bro, I'm not being funny, yeah. I'm seeing names like Kyle Walker linked to Bayern Munich. Why are they looking at Walker? And they were looking at another name, which I was kind of confused at as well. Not saying that's going to happen, right? Oh yeah, Bastos. Yeah, KDB. That link up was that the 13-14 season or 14-15 before he went to Man City? Dirty. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I was dust at Wolfsburg.
Yeah, that lanky the lanky
He might have been bro, for a 12-wheeler. He weren't too bad. He weren't too bad, to be fair. That link up was cold.
If there's going to be a time where there might be a little power shift, and there's not actually a lot, you could say, great managers out there on show for Bayern, right? You got to think of it like this: are Bayern having to go through a rebuild phase? Because when you deep it, I think the average age is something like 30 or 29. It's quite old, by the way. Considering maybe that's because Neuer's like 38 as well. That doesn't help. They might have to look at themselves and say, I don't think we can. It's not guaranteed we're going to win. What manager can come in right now since they've been rejected? They got rejected by what's it called? So Tuchel's rejected them, and also what's his name? Ralph Ragnick also rejected them. There might be a power shift over there, and they might have to go through a project phase, meaning they're gonna have to hold that one for a year or two, and hopefully they can keep hold of Musiala in that.
It depends, because obviously if you look at Bayern Munich, the players that look like could be leaving is Alphonso Davies. Looks like he's going to Madrid. Yeah.
Apparently they're not in for him no more. Apparently they're not in for him no more. Someone will whip him up though.
I feel like that. I feel like his journey at Bayern Munich is done. Goretzka's on the other end of the mountain.
Yeah, Nagelsmann rejected them, by the way, for Germany.
Yeah, and if you look at Kimmich, he's linked away from the club. He's been linked with United, he's linked to Liverpool, he's been linked with Man City. You know what I'm saying? As you said, Neuer's 38. You know, you're looking at they've got some good players, some really good young players, and obviously they've got Pavlovic. They got Pavlovic, Musiala, and there's another one. There's another one I'm missing in there.
Tell.
Yeah, Matthias Tell. Yeah, they got him over there as well. But apart from that, like you're looking at like Mazraoui in that. Now, and that's not even like shade on him. But if we're talking about the Bayern level, if you're making a Bayern 11 without Neuer, Alphonso Davies, Kimmich,
maybe
Müller,
a Kimmich, yeah, maybe, yeah.
If you're taking those guys out, and then you look at, you know, you still, get me wrong, you've still got Kane, you've still got Coman, Gnabry, but Gnabry's injuries are starting to catch up with him. Coman's injuries, he's always going to be injury prone. It's just
Goretzka's just fallen off a cliff.
Like, it's not looking great. Like, there's a real rebuild on, and this is why I say going and winning like the Bundesliga, bro. I swear to you, it's going to mean something this year if they go and win it next year.
I would say so.
When you've won it 7, 8, 9 times in a row, it means fuck all to go win the league, bro. It means nothing. It means nothing. So I think Zerbi could look at that and go, you know what? On a low, I can operate under a lower budget, and as long as I've got players who can play football, I can build Bayern Munich to what it was. Now, it's either he thinks whether he can do this for United or Bayern Munich. You know what I'm saying? So, and also, I think it's a challenge for him. Can he operate under a big budget? Because what does what he hasn't done before.
That's what we say about yeah. That's what we say about all managers that come and make that step. David Moyes, that's the first one I would look at and say, can you operate on a bigger budget? Couldn't even spend it really. Even like now, Arne Slot coming into Liverpool, can he operate under a big budget? But I think Liverpool's backroom is mending to the point that will be sorted for him. Do you get what I mean? He won't need to really worry about transfer activity as much as maybe a Bayern, because I feel like in Bayern, I don't think, you know, when I look at everything they're linked to, I don't see any big players they're linked to. I don't even see anyone that linked to in Germany, like some of the young ballers over there. Like let's deep it. About 6-7 years ago, right? 6-7 years ago, Wirtz would 100% be snapped up in that very season. This summer, it would have been snapped up. You don't really see them buying out 100 million for, or whatever it was, for Harry Kane, which is abnormal for them to go and buy. They usually go snap up man from Eredivisie, and they usually snap up all the best talents in Germany. That's how
they just monopolize. Yeah, it's straight monopolization. I'll tell you, if what happened if let's say Alonso left, what probably would have happened was Grimaldo replaces Alphonso Davies. Yeah. Florian replaces Musiala.
Or they would have got David Raum.
Or plays with him. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd say if Kimmich goes, Frimpong was probably there. There's, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Jonathan Tah probably gets a 2-year contract over there or some shit. Like, bro, we've seen it happen with Dortmund. We saw Guerrero go there. We've seen Hummels and all these guys. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
the bigger,
Now, this is just evidence of Bayern Munich not being able to monopolize the league as effectively as they have done for the last decade. And all of a sudden, oh look, it's taking its effect.
I agree.
So
I agree then.
without monopolization, let's see what Bayern Munich can do about monopolization. Genuinely. Genuinely. And what players are going to be willing to stay through that? You know what I'm saying? They took they took Götze on a Götze, Hummels, and Lewandowski. That is crazy. That is insanity.
Insanity.
That's like us saying, you know what, City, go take Salah, VDV, and Trent. Have them. Take them. Take for free. Have them for free. For free. Like, bro, only Germany is that shit going. Maybe Italy as well. Maybe Italy, because you see man going from Milan Inter to AC like it's clockwork. And I don't know why man sound like that's mad normal. Like Calhanoglu is just winning the Scudetto with both teams. Like that's just weird. That's the weirdest spot. Like that. But again, I don't know, innit? Lawa on a free is nuts, bro.
That's a madness.
Bro, I'm surprised they didn't get Haaland, didn't it? I'm surprised Haaland didn't go there after the season at Dortmund. How about that?
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. I'm like, see, this is what I'm saying. Maybe this needed to happen for football in Germany. No more monopolization, or for at least a year. That's what maybe Alonso has done the whole of Germany a favor by not going to Bayern himself and staying at Leverkusen and trying to keep his players.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, exactly. So basically, people have you just joined in as well, like make sure you smash the like button. We're like 4th of 100 likes, the bare minimum. We're doing a pop-up stream. You might have been hearing it, you might have seen it. Obviously, the Zerbi. We literally I think from about minute 7, we kind of just gone around where I've given up a top 5 of where he could be, and I've ranked it from 5th to 1st. So the 5th one was AC Milan, 4th Barcelona, 3rd Chelsea, 2nd Man United, and the 1st one we was just talking about, obviously, is Bayern. So if you ain't seen it, you can rewind it, or if you hear my voice, then you can hear it. Obviously, you can go see it. I'll put it in a timestamp for you guys. But the whole point now is to probably out of us to kind of see the pros and cons in the Zerbi's game, even kind of rate this season to see where we can really piece them together. Like, if I'm going to talk about the Zerbi this season, you think of Brighton, and you think of Brighton of last year, right?
Yeah.
And they were phenomenal. Like, they were smashing teams. And for a team like Brighton, which I can give them personally an excuse and say they've been injury hit, right? Estupiñán, and I think Baleba got injured at some point. Obviously, Evan Ferguson can't stay match fit. João Pedro a couple times. There's quite a few players. Even the other one that used to score was Rockets. I can't remember. Is it Enciso? He's been out as well. And even I think they even had a centre back out potentially as well. I can't remember. And they've been playing Van Heck a lot of the season. And So on that note, you can actually give them an excuse when you think about it.
He was out as well. I forgot.
There you go. So if you think about it like that, you can't say there's no excuse for injuries. For a big team, in my opinion, you shouldn't make too much excuse. But for a small team like Brighton, when you think of their depth, and to be fair, we did pick up their summer transfer window as well, but it didn't hit with some of them. Especially, I think one went out on loan as well, and he was preseason was cooking. Dahoud, I think he went to Bundesliga on loan.
Mohamed Dahoud.
Yeah. When you think of it like that, he still managed. Yeah, he still managed to get them through the group stages in the Europa League, and even though they didn't look that great, and second of all, they could have a 10th or 11th. They might drop down to 12th, but right now he's in the top 10. I don't think that's. I don't think I can sit here and say De Zerbi has been shit. Considering, I don't think so. No, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Bro, with certain players, they're only going to go so far. I don't judge De Zerbi ultimately on what he does now at Brighton. I've seen enough from Brighton to know that he can operate at the highest level in the Premier League and still do relatively well with injuries as well and do okay.
Yeah.
He also has shown me signs of Bielsa where the stubbornness has kind of led to some serious thumpings in the league and outside the league. But where I really judge whether he's ready is similar with Potter, is the second he goes to a big club. Because at a smaller club, there's always going to be restrictions, whether it's financially, whether it's for signings, you know what I'm saying? Or just genuinely having players who are good and stylistically yours, but not players that can get you out the mud. Like, cool, Brighton style of players, light years better than Man United. Man United are better players. Sometimes when you just have better players, that's enough just to get you through games. You know, look how good. You guys absolutely robbed Wolves home and away this season. You know,
actually, no, tell a lie. No,
Kobe Mainoo.
Which one? Because there was one in the cup and there's one at home. Do you remember?
The Kobe Mainoo dagger and the opening day shit that happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, that's not because sometimes when you just have better players, Kobe Mainoo is just gonna pop up and do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, things can happen. So now, when he has better players at his disposal, there's gonna be less excuses, and let's see if you can operate at the highest level. I think it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we're gonna go into the cons as well. This ain't just a Zerbi like makeshift show. We're just giving the benefit of the doubt. Someone said that he struggles to break down low blocks, but sometimes I look at he's missed his players like Matoma this season as well. That was a main hitter in his last year. He's actually been out for most of the season. Evan Ferguson, I think they rely more on Welbeck. João Pedro stepped up quite a lot. I think he rotates too. I think he has rotated quite a lot, but that's due to Europa League. So that's why I give him the benefit of the doubt on that notice. Now, there's a lot of pros of him. Obviously, Brighton's philosophy is build up a lot. In build up, it's hard to get the ball off them. They've conceded quite a few goals. They rotate the keepers. That's down to the manager. I don't think that's good, obviously, rotating the keepers too much. What would you say with De Zerbi though, going to a top job? What would you say like highlights his cons?
I feel like again, it's the Ange stuff, innit?
What's the Ange stuff? Explain what's the Ange stuff,
bro. Postecoglou, he loves to just stick to the high line regardless of the situation of what he's doing. Like, if we see De Zerbi sticking to his guns regardless of the situation, you could just get punished in the big games. And at the highest level, you're not at Brighton anymore, bro. Scrutiny is going to be real. You know, I think he's going to have to be a little bit more flexible as a manager. The Klopps, the Peps, you know, these guys are very stubborn with their style, but have tasted success. So they're kind of allowed to keep their style the way it is, regardless of what happens, especially when you're successful. I think De Zerbi hasn't been successful yet for him to go, this is my style, I'm going to stick to it, and no one can tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to have to show a little bit of flexibility. Like Arteta. Arteta has his style that he doesn't want to deviate from, but he had to be flexible when he came into the job at Arsenal. He had to play five at the back, knowing that was nowhere near his style or what he wanted to play. Sometimes when you walk into a situation at a club, be a little bit flexible, and then Klopp played 4-2-3-1 when he came to Liverpool. You think he's like
might have molded into a 4-3-3?
Yeah, he molded it into his 4-3-3. And remember, he played 4-2-3-1 at Dortmund as well. To be fair, but he molded.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think because he's a bit of an emotional manager. We've seen, you know.
Oh, see, this is what I was gonna say. Yeah, temper.
It's a good thing, though. I think managers need to do. I think.
Yeah. You'd probably prefer an expressive manager, but you know what I'm thinking about? It's the same thing. See, he's not really Ten Hag. I don't think Ten Hag's lost his temper yet, but see, when it comes to a big club like Man United, let's say instantly, or even the way they do stuff over in Germany, I think it's a little bit better though, because they're not as ruthless as English media, because English media are just on your necks all the time. He's an emotional manager, right? And sometimes I think when it's going great, people will be talking about, like you said in the earlier shoot, aura. Yeah, this is what it's supposed to be like a big manager shot. It's when shit goes wrong, right? Is he going to be able to handle it without his head flying off? Because the last thing you need is the media getting onto you. So it's the way you handle the media is how you succeed in, I think, as a big manager. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride a little bit. Not all that, because if the media hate you, mate, yeah, man, you know what they can do over here in England. So I think that's a con. Do you think you'll be able to handle it, or do you think he'd adjust?
I think he'll adjust first. I think it would be too early to show his emotions. I think his emotions will come into play later on down the line when he sees the foundations of the club.
What about big players with bigger egos? Because Kevin Prince Boateng had nothing but greatness to talk about him. By the way, that's a big ego.
Roberto wasn't a big ego. Let's be honest. At the time, that he used that Sassuolo at the end of his career. Do you know what I'm saying? No disrespect.
Yeah,
I love
true.
him, but you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's the emotional thing. I feel like that won't come into play at all. He knows what foundations he's dealing with. Speaking of foundations, the foundation of this channel is to hit the like button, and I'm only seeing a third of the likes. So can we hit the like button, please? Big up Red Devil TV. He goes, please smash up the likes. Thousands of subscribers as you enter the stream. Also, don't forget to set the notification bell so you won't miss out on any content. Big up Red Devil TV, man, and make sure you give them a subscribe as well, man. So appreciate you for that message. Big up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So make sure we're smashing the like button, thumbs up button below, and subscribe as well.
I was gonna say this. I was gonna make that comparison. Zerbi reminds me of Conte, man. That you could some call it passion, some call it temper.
You're saying that they're both Italian.
No. Think of it. Think of how Conte's lost his head on the line at players.
I love that though. I love that.
Yeah.
Bring me back Mourinho and Wenger doing this one in the camera. Bring me that.
Think of it, yeah. The way they both lose their head on the pitch and the way they are in press conferences, they're not too dissimilar.
Man United need that. I feel there's no longer any emotion in Man United, bro. When you lose games, man are bored, bro. Man are bored. Man are actually bored. Man are cool with not playing UCL ball. Do you know how dead that is? None of you have won Champions Leagues apart from Varane and Cass. How dare you, bro? Why are you not as angry as I am? You get it? They need the 10 Hag to stay like this. Why are you not as angry as I am, bro? Because you think you're playing good football. This man is deluded enough to think he's playing good football at Man United. You are robbing these United fans of years of their lifetime. Like you're robbing them of personality. It's a delusion there yourself that you think you're doing something you're not. Instill the emotion back into Man United. And so for me, an emotional manager is exactly what you want. Because guess what? What the manager does and feels is often filtrated into the players. If you have a manager that doesn't show much emotion, he better be world class and doing his job. And Ten Hag's not doing that. So the next step, go and get someone who's going to, again, instill that emotional culture back into Man United. And I'm not saying De Zerbi is the most emotional manager in the world, but I think that's
he's not far off.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Not far off. Yeah.
Listen, a little bit of emotion back at Old Trafford. I think you lot need that for the players, especially, man. Not like, bro, like
I want to be hated again. And you know what? If anyone's watched the 99 documentary part series in 3 parts, it's usually you think you've seen it all, but you haven't. There's always new images, there's always something, a new story and stuff like that. It's like it's us against the world type mentality, and I don't mind that because Ferguson was quite collected, but he was definitely when someone pissed him off, he wasn't afraid to show it. Do you get what I mean? Wait, there's a Fabrice. Wait, one sec. Fab Bomber. Let me check this. Let me see what this guy said now. I hope. Oh my word! What? So Bayern director Max Erbel or Abel, so I don't know how to say his name, denies that De Zerbi will become the new manager. Can you deny it if someone asked him, called Paule, or can you deny if I predict that new coach will be Italian? And then Max said yes. So they denied it.
Can you deny it if I predict that the new coach?
So basically, he's having a guess if the new manager is going to be Italian, and he said yes. So he's not going to be Italian. Bayern rejected. Where is he going then? I'm not joking, yeah. I'm not gonna lie here, yeah. I've not got Man United second.
He has to be going Man U. He has to be going Man U, bro. He has to be going Man U.
Do you reckon? I can't lie. I actually think
he's a Milan fan, though, isn't it? He's a Milan fan.
So I'm not joking. I actually think no.
Oh, Juve.
No. Thiago Motta's going there. They're so bang on this, brother. Thiago Motta's going there, yeah. Otherwise, Thiago Motta would be linked with the AC Milan job, and I was thinking that why would they not link someone like that over an AC Milan, right? I know Napoli might be an option. By the way, could be an option of some sort, unless they're going to keep their new manager all of a sudden because they're talking about. Anyway, that's just rumor stuff. They don't need a new manager. I actually think it might be Barcelona. You know, no, deep it once. Why would the president all of a sudden in Barcelona come out and change his mind about Xavi? Laporta, deep it.
Bro, it's starting to make sense. I'm thinking, bro, De Zerbi, La Masia, good football through the lines, little bit of a low-key rebuild.
You got deep it like this. Look at La Liga.
Yamal.
Hear me out, La Liga, yeah? Ancelotti goes after a year. Who comes in? Xabi Alonso. All of a sudden, is a whole new market. No, there's a whole new market of who's going to be the best manager. 2 new coaches. You know, you got Lamine Yamal, you got Bellingham. They're trying to run it back up. La Liga product. This sounds like a La Liga product, trying to revamp what the league really is. 2 hot-headed coaches in a way. They're very emotional. Like, go check Xabi as well on the line and whatnot. He's definitely very emotional. It'll be like the 2 new best coaches, the 2 new best things, and they're making it a thing. I reckon it could be a very attractive thing for him. Obviously, quick people are going to say Man United, but that's on my part, anyways. I think it could be. I think Barcelona's got a definite run in for this. Like I said, we went through our 5. Well, I went through my 5 personally, and I had once hear it out for the first time where I think you might go. AC Milan is also on that list. So, yeah, man, it could be a good rivalry. Ancelotti, De Zerbi, both Italian as well. Might give it a year.
Yeah, yeah. For me, Barcelona's. I think United and Barcelona are the front runners, in my opinion. I think United are still in 2 minds of Ten Hag. I think there's probably going to be many meetings that are going to be held, transfer-wise. That's going to happen, and I feel like Ten Hag's going to be involved in that. And if the club like how Ten Hag operates, cool. Give him. I
can't lie. Ten Hag goes Bayern. That's the last option.
Yeah.
That's their last option. Red Devil TV. This is for love and support and appreciation. Big up Cass Monts and everyone at Never a Foul. Always pen content. That's a mad descriptive. Wait, you're in about 2010.
Pen content.
Yeah, 2010. Guys supporting this channel by any means. Love heart. Yeah, big up my guy, man. And also make sure that Red Devil TV's also got he's also got content as well. You can always go check his profile and go subscribe there. So big up yourselves. But yeah, man, look, pros and cons. The last thing I would say, which I was really impressed. If people haven't done it, go check out on 5 UK, obviously, Rio Ferdinand. Go check out Kevin Prince Boateng. You talk about Man United, obviously, and then you talk about Kevin Prince Boateng, what he saw in his training grounds. Man was drawing out little cones in squares where not to be and where to be. And if you talk about anything about Man United, these players need to be coached. They need to be coached, right? And if it does kind of make sense, like if you want to link it that way. Autocorrect failed me. Don't lie, that did not fail you. But yeah, man, transfer window's just about to get juicy, man. Man called in South Prep.
We will be going live. We will be there. We will be there.
We'll just say one more. Give me another. Give me one more con. Give me one more cons or pro about Tuchel. I mean, not Tuchel. About the Zerbi.
The fact that his hair always sits up, it just pisses me off.
And that's where we end it. That's where, too much gel in it. Too much gel in it.
Bro, like, it's literally just like this, bro. It's fully erect. His thing's just mad erect the whole time.
You know what he kind of looks like, yeah? Do you remember when Gohan, or who's it? Do you remember Gohan or Trunks or something when they're growing up and they just got the little spikes on the top and it never sits down?
Oh, it's the GT. It's the GT trim.
Yeah.
Man's hair is literally erect into the side permanently, bro. Like, shit don't even move with the wind and blood.
I would say so. Wait, Cass, hear me at one sec. Matt Hummels in the summer. No, wow.
Oh, hey, 100%. I'd take Matt Hummels on a 3 in the summer. Are you mad? I'd take him.
Nah, you know what it is, yeah? The Bundesliga Prem, I hear it in Champions League or something like that. I can hear it. But big man thing, why would you get rid of Varane?
Bro, you know, he's not even. Go on.
Why would you get rid of Varane just to get Hummels?
Bro, you know, Hummels isn't as stiff as even everyone even says.
No, but in the Prem, I see him getting ripped.
Bro, the fact that wait, man are laughing because I said erect in it. No, I'll pause that. But the fact that Hummels didn't even get into the German squad as well, by the way, that is criminal.
Yeah, because Nagelsmann wants a new era. He wants a new era. Like,
he's been one of the best German centre backs, bro. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, of course, but with Man United, it's like, why would you go get an old centre back all of a sudden? You need a new era. You don't need these, man.
He'd cook at Arsenal.
What? How? All right.
Hummels would cook as a rotational centre back at Arsenal.
Go Chelsea.
Have you seen his ball playing thing? It's dumb. Like, it's dumb.
Yeah. Look, Thiago Silva just left. They need another old you. Go get.
Yeah. They could get another guy another pensioner.
Yeah, he's 35, man. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. What's the point?
Ready
That's Johnny
go
Evans
after
says.
pre his thing this season. Pre his thing. Seriously.
But yeah, in a bit, guys, we're gonna be back tomorrow with rivals. Obviously, last Premier League day. Thank fuck. And then yeah, man, we move. Other than that, Big Six Bants months. Trust me, bare pop-up streams a lot quicker than before as well. But yeah, in a bit.